Hi, I'm Steph, and the other day I was on Etsy and I saw that somebody makes a 3D printed paddle holder for the Oru Kayak, Lake and Inlet. So I picked up both because I have both those kayaks and I wanted to try it out to see if it will hold my paddle well and if it's something that would be worthwhile to add to my Oru Kayak when I go paddling. So far I put it on the kayak, it just slips right on, put my paddle on it, and my paddle does seem a little unbalanced, so we're going to see how that goes. It was a little askew when I was carrying it. So it might be best to buy two of these, even though it wasn't that clear on the website that pretty much you probably should buy two. But I'm going to try this one out, kind of see my thoughts on it, and then I'll try out the lake one as well and kind of see how it goes. So far getting on the water, the paddle actually fell out like on the ground before I got it in the water. So I put it in the kayak when I put the kayak in the water just so it didn't fall in the water. And so far I pretty much don't think that this is usable with just the one, because my paddle is like sitting in the water, which is kind of defeats the purpose of the holder. So far I'm not impressed. I think you have to buy two. Wish that was more clear, that it's kind of like a 2-pack necessary. But I gave it a shot. It is another day in another kayak and another body of water. So today I am trying out the Oru Lake. So I'm using a different mount. It's the same similar design, but it's made for the lake Oru. And then I'm using a straight shaft paddle because I reviewed the footage and I thought, I think maybe it's not working because I have a bent shaft paddle. So in fact, this works a whole lot better with the straight shaft paddle, which is probably 99% of what kayakers use are typical straight shaft paddles. I happen to use a bent shaft paddle because I got paddler's elbow when I first started paddling, and a straight shaft paddle, using it for a long period of time, just makes the injury worse. I've been using a bent shaft paddle ever since. But that does not work with this little hook here. And what I was also noticing when I was using it with the inlet is I kept hitting it on the side when I would paddle. And I'm not noticing that with the lake. So either this is positioned a little bit differently than on the inlet, or my bent shaft paddle has a little bit more thickness to it, so it was hitting the side of the kayak and that's why it wasn't working. So anyways, this is not a bad design. The paddle holder, it definitely holds a straight shaft paddle pretty securely. For my purposes, it's not going to work because of the type of paddle that I use. I could try to get a second one of the holders, but I probably won't. My paddle breaks in half really easily, my bent shaft paddle, so I don't really think I need the paddle holder. I just kind of wanted to try out. But I will say, if you have an Oru Kayak and you have a typical paddle, I do think that this does work. And it's pretty nice to be able to just kind of put your paddle over here on the side, and it fits securely. So it does what it says it does. I just had a little bit different situation. I do think it's kind of a unique idea. I did realize it's actually something that was posted onto a 3D printing website. That's where somebody created it. And then the person that I got it from on Etsy just has used those designs to manufacture his own, 3D print them and sell them, which is nice for someone that doesn't have a 3D printer like I don't. So I would say it definitely works. For my purposes, no, but it would be something worth looking into, especially if you have the lake. I think it works super well in the lake. The inlet, like I said, I can't say for sure if it works super well because I kept hitting it when I was paddling, but it might just be my paddle. So I just wanted to kind of do a full review of that. It's a good product if you are needing to hold your paddle. I think it will work. All right, well, thanks for joining. I'm going to just enjoy a nice, relaxing day here on the water, and it's beautiful. I just enjoy just a nice paddle. No reason, just get out on the water and just enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.